Hello, I'm Steven,
And I'm Aaron.
and we've just seen The
Naked
Naked Gun,
Gun.
new film that's out in theaters right now, starring Liam Neeson, Pamela Anderson, and Danny Houston, and it is directed by Akiva Schaffer. So, these films are not really about plot so much as they are about just constant jokes. So, to get the narrative out of the way real quick, it revolves around Lieutenant Frank Drebin Jr. of Police Squad, who is investigating a tech mogul who plans to use a plot device to regress all of humanity into primitive troglodytes so he and his fellow billionaires can rule over them. Meanwhile, Frank Drebin is also falling for a crime novelist named Beth, whose brother was a victim of this tech mogul.
Yes.
So that's the basic narrative.
Yeah, it's just a basic skeleton of a story to place the characters in situations, certain environments, and then the writers just have fun coming up with as many visual gags, clever wordplay, anything to make you laugh.
And this did a lot.
Yeah, I don't recall ever laughing this hard in a movie theater.
Yeah,
Ever.
or this consistently.
Yeah, or that's kind of the amazing thing about this is it's one thing to be a comedy movie. It's another thing to be this style of comedy movie where it really is like a joke a minute. And the fact that so many of them hit is kind of a miracle. Of course, not all of them do.
Yeah, the great thing about that is that when a joke doesn't land, it doesn't matter because there's 10 more jokes that precede it that make you forget about the one that didn't.
Yeah, I found myself laughing at just about everything this movie was throwing at me.
Yeah, I remember when this was first announced, you told me about it, and I was none too excited about it. The one thing that did grab my attention was when you told me Liam Neeson was going to be Frank.
Yeah, that was my exact reaction. I saw the headline like Naked Gun reboots or sequel whatever announced. I was like, "Oh my god, the Hollywood machine once again churning out just remakes and sequels to things that they just can't do well anymore because it's all just nostalgia bait nonsense." But then I saw Liam Neeson attached as the star, and I was thinking, huh. If there's anybody that I want to see do this project and I think might be just perfect for the role, it is him. Because similar to Leslie Nielsen, like they're both people who have acting chops,
Yeah.
but they can utilize their kind of dry, deadpan delivery to great comedic effect.
And Liam Neeson absolutely does that here because he's phenomenal as Frank Drebin Jr.
Yeah, he's exactly what I wanted and what I was hoping for and kind of what I expected out of his performance.
I kind of had the same reaction going into this that I did when we saw Mary Poppins Returns way back in 2018, which is that your brain kind of has to acclimate yourself to the fact that it's a new person taking on this role. It's not Julie Andrews, it's not Leslie Nielsen. But after like 5 minutes, I was like, okay, I see what he's doing here, and it's working.
Yeah, and the other thing is also that it doesn't feel like they're just doing Leslie Nielsen style humor in delivery and comedy.
The delivery is very different. Leslie Nielsen had this very clear, authoritative style of speech.
Yes.
Whereas Liam Neeson's speech is slower and it's more gravelly.
Yeah, it's the way I guess I would describe it is like the old movies are kind of more like pop noir, and this one goes for a more kind of gritty tech
Yeah.
kind of vibe. And Liam Neeson, like his voice really does sell that, but accompanied with the delivery and the actual lines he's saying and the things they have him do in this movie.
I was very surprised by how consistent this felt in terms of the style of humor because when I saw the trailer and I saw Liam Neeson like killing people with lollipops,
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be darker and bloodier and more violent with a lot more cursing, but it was actually pretty in line with the other films. It wasn't as gruesome as I expected. I don't even think this is rated R, is it?
It's not. That's something I was actually wondering about and sort of concerned about going into it because, that first trailer, for whatever reason, it seemed like it was bloodier than the actual final picture is.
Yeah.
And I wonder if maybe they did tone some things down to maybe get a PG-13. Whatever that is, it was the right call because it's just much more accessible And I think going for like a R rating would have just been too easy.
Yeah.
And here it allows them to be a little more clever with the humor, a little more silly. Totally the right call.
One of the things that I loved about this film that was consistent with the others was characters who would misunderstand basic social cues
Yes.
or take things very literally.
Yeah, that's been like a very popular joke that this series has utilized, is like taking things that people say to you at face value and as literal as possible.
Yeah, I don't want to give any of them away except for one very small one that happens at the beginning where Pamela Anderson's character Beth comes into Frank Drebin's office and he's like, "Please take a seat."
No thanks, I have some at home.
I have lots of chairs, yeah.
Another one, it's not really a spoiler or anything because like it's a cop movie, so this is like a cop trope, but Frank's got a dead ex-wife and somebody says, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, how did she pass?" And he's like, "Oh, very well, very strong arm, she could just throw 100 yards easy." Like just stuff like that. It's really funny.
Yeah. How old is Frank Drebin Jr. supposed to be?
I have no idea.
Because assuming this takes place in the same timeline as the original films, that first movie came out in like 1994 when Frank Drebin Jr. was a baby, which means he'd be like, what? He'd be 30, because I'm 30.
Okay, that makes sense because I did see an article a few weeks ago that seemed to suggest that exact thing, that Frank in this movie is supposed to be 31 years old. And that's never brought up in the film, but having that in the back of my head the whole time is like, this is just even another layer of ridiculousness on top of everything else.
Yeah.
The timeline makes no sense. We're watching a 75-year-old man play a 30-year-old.
I guess being a cop just really does a number on your physicality.
Yeah.
It's a stressful job. Yeah, I was laughing all throughout it, and it was fun sharing that communal experience with the rest of the crowd because this was a packed theater.
Yeah, it was actually really full, and it's been a while since I think we've gotten that kind of audience reaction. Like, the Marvel movies, the most recent ones have been a little more toned down when it comes to the humor, but some of the funniest ones, like, I would remember audiences, like, really getting into it, and, like, even some comedy movies here and there, you'd get the audience laughing, but never anything like this, where it really seemed to be hitting for everybody.
Yeah, we have heard from some people who complain that you haven't really had a really good comedy film for a while, and, I typically don't think too much about comedies because I'm more into dramas, but watching this did make me kind of see where they're coming from. It's like, yeah, this was a great experience, and I do love laughter, and it would be great to have more of these every year, so I'm kind of on their side now about this.
Yeah, I haven't really thought about it too much either. I think just because we don't typically see too many of them.
Yeah, well, most of them look like absolute dog mess.
Yeah, a lot of them just simply don't look very good from the trailer, or it's just a repeated idea that we've seen a million times.
Yeah.
But yeah, something felt kind of different about this one. I was actually excited about this, like just the idea of Liam Neeson taking over the series and putting like a new vision of the franchise out there. I would definitely like to see another one of these.
Yeah.
Considering how strong the writing and the jokes are. Like, this movie does two things that I never thought we would be able to do again. It has a funny fart joke in it.
Yes.
Extended fart joke. And they pull in a joke from Austin Powers and make it funny again.
When I saw Seth MacFarlane's name attached as a producer, my instant thought is concern because I'm thinking he's going to get carried away with the potty humor if he has an influence on the script. But miraculously, the extended potty joke in this movie had a little narrative built around it.
Yes.
And watching that journey is what made it funny.
Yeah. There's even like a 5-minute short film in the middle of this that's just totally ridiculous. This side story that happened.
Yeah, won't tell you what happens, but it's very surreal. The imagery is absurd.
Yeah.
What-
Even the whole like atmosphere of that sequence just is totally separate from the rest of the movie.
Yeah. By the way, Pamela Anderson, who plays Liam
Yes.
Neeson's love interest, is also great in this.
Yeah, she is. I liked her in The Last Showgirl, but I thought that movie could have been better. this is really terrific work from her. And her and Liam Neeson are just kind of perfect together.
Mm-hmm.
If they do another one of these, I would hope that they keep her around.
Yeah, the way they did Priscilla Presley in the original trilogy, I would totally love to see 2 more films with these two as a couple.
Yeah, which apparently they are in real life now. That's what I'm reading online.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So, yeah, she's really fantastic in this as well. She's totally game for the insanity and matches Liam Neeson every step of the way.
And then the villain is portrayed by Danny Houston,
Danny Houston.
who gives another great deadpan performance.
Yeah, it's just another send up of Elon Musk as this.
This tech mogul
just-
who has these electric
Yeah.
cars that kill people.
Yeah, just a ridiculous, like, horrible piss baby man child with billions of dollars and all the gadgets in the world at his disposal.
Which is another thing that's consistent with the other movies, is that each one, they were never really like political satires, but they did have some topical humor. Like
Yeah.
Bush 1 is a supporting character in Naked Gun 2,
Yeah.
and that whole movie is all about environmentalism.
Yeah, there's a sequence where Frank is stuck in a car that's driving out of control, and it has one of the funniest, most ridiculous gags I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, that's one of the scenes that I found myself thinking about in the days preceding us seeing this, is that scene in the car. The film has a very clever twist on the 2 guys walking into the middle of a street with a pane of glass.
Yeah.
The way they incorporate it is a hysterical payoff. And then Liam Neeson's performance throughout that is totally sincere.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing I think that works, is just how sincere and earnest he is about this whole thing.
Which is what you need when you're carrying a torch from Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah. What'd you think about the third act? Like, do you think like it stayed consistent the entire time?
That is my one little criticism, is I do think that the third act isn't as funny as the first two.
It runs out of steam a little bit.
Yeah.
With the third act, I think, which is actually kind of a problem with the previous trilogy of movies. Like, the rest of the movie is way funnier than the actual finale. It's like, we have to figure out how to wrap this up. So
Naked Gun 3's climax goes on a little too long.
yeah, that is kind of like my only problem with this too, was that it goes on a little bit too long and it's not as funny as the rest of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But still pretty funny compared to most other things.
Still worth the time. What is your final number rating on a scale of 1 to 10?
I would probably give it like a 9.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. It does exactly what it sets out to do.
Yeah.
Almost every joke lands. It's consistently funny. It's always entertaining. And if you're scoring a comedy based on how consistently and
Yeah,
how hard it
exactly.
makes you laugh, then this is
Like,
a 9 out of 10.
It's hard to rank comedies, but like if the prime directive is to make people laugh, then I think this achieves it perfectly almost.
Yeah. So that's The Naked Gun. Definitely see it.